So sum up your take in this article, whether it's specifically what Musk said to you or more broadly, which is that the Saudis, who had been thought as being perhaps the biggest shareholder, now don't have any exposure at all. Is that right?
Yeah, maybe it's just better to begin where the story started, which is, if you remember, about 4 or 5 months ago, I was sitting same place here talking to you about another story we broke when we revealed that the Saudis had built a stake in Tesla. And then within 30 minutes, Elon Musk tweeted the infamous tweet, "Funding secured," which led to sort of the wild summer that was with respect to whether he actually did or did not have the funding secured, and ultimately civil charges from the SEC that led him to step down as chairman of the company and pay a $20 million fine. What we've learned today now is that the Saudis, who had built that stake probably in April and May of 2018, have now potentially taken the view that the stock is too volatile, and through a series of equity derivatives effectively locked in a price in Tesla shares. And they began that process of locking in a so-called hedge on January 17th after the market closed. Now, that was an important moment because on January 18th, Elon Musk revealed that the company was going to struggle to turn a profit for this quarter and announced that he would be cutting 3,400 jobs and ultimately a series of maneuvers that sent the company's shares tumbling to below the $300 level they are now. At the time of the hedge, when it began to be put on, was about $347. So in our reporting today, we explained that Saudi Sovereign Wealth Fund, the public investment fund, which is steered effectively by the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, locked in a hedge with the help of JP Morgan beginning around the market close on January 17th.
So, Arash, are you suggesting that the timing was fortunate or was guided in some way?
It was definitely well timed. I mean, we have no guidance or belief or reason to believe that there was some sort of communication between the two. You see the email from Mr. Musk to us today, but what we're saying is basically it was a well-timed hedge that was put on, and it looks to have put the Saudis in a position where they're actually up on the stock, but effectively freezing their bet on the stock. And if so we're a little bit confused, because if this was a long-term play as part of the development of the Saudi economy and the diversification off oil, why to get skittish on the stock and no longer just be long? They've effectively frozen their position. So that's sort of why we find it interesting. They perhaps find the stock too volatile. Perhaps they thought it was going to fall. Who knows? But we can't really speculate as to the reason why. And our sources who gave us the information, which was quite specific, if you look at the story, did not give us the reason for why the hedge was put on.
Do we have a reason why, way back when they originally decided to buy the stock, what the thinking was? You said diversify its economy, but I'm just wondering if anything that changed in that whole belief and thesis in Tesla.
Well, there was a couple things that happened. First of all, if you remember in late March of last year, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman came on a sort of tour of the United States. Everyone was really trying to get his attention. Lloyd Blankfein was tweeting photos of him in New York. Rupert Murdoch was throwing parties for him in Los Angeles, and so on and so forth. And around that time, they approached Elon Musk and said, listen, we want to buy some primary shares in Tesla. Musk, for whatever reason, says no, and so the Saudi Sovereign Wealth Fund effectively, through JP Morgan, decides to buy them in the market. I only find out about this in August when I break the news on it, and Mr. Musk makes his tweet. You know what happened after that. And then also in October, there was the kind of horrific murder of Jamal Khashoggi in the Istanbul consulate in Turkey. And what that did was set off a chain of events where there was a lot of questions both in New York and around Silicon Valley and around the world, where the Saudis had become really major investors, about what this meant, what it meant to take Saudi money. I believe Elon Musk did an interview with Kara Swisher in November where he said he probably wouldn't take further money from the Saudis. So there's a number of things, and I can't speculate as to what events led to today's sort of this month's decision to hedge its bet on the Tesla stock.